Good morning, dear students. Happy to see you all again through this class. Before starting the class, we'll begin with a prayer. Our loving Heavenly Father, thank you for this morning. Lord, as we plead your presence, Lord, help us to understand today's lesson without any trouble. You are the Lord of understanding. Give us the heavenly wisdom to understand, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Happy to see you all through this video to teach you. Children, what did we see last week? Last part of the lesson. We studied about leech, isn't it? Introductory part we finished. And what is it we saw? A different segmentation we have seen. And different types of apertures, external apertures we saw last week, isn't it? Today, let us see the body wall and how it locomotes, how it moves from one place to the other place, and all the different systems we are going to learn, like digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory system. All these systems we are going to finish today. Shall we see it today? So coming to biozoology, structural organization of animals, continuation, children. We are talking about leech. So continuity is a leech body wall. Imagine that a cross section, a leech is cut in this way. So it is a transverse section and body wall. Remember, see here, this is the body wall. And imagine that from here to here it is cut. Okay. Now this enlarged portion we are going to see here. Okay, so this is the outermost part. Can you see like this or this way? Okay, outermost. Okay, half cut. Outermost layer is cuticle. Body wall. Body wall of leech includes 5 layers actually, children. One is the outermost layer is cuticle. Cuticle, you can see it here. Outermost layer. Then coming to epidermis. It lies below the cuticle. Cuticle, and below the cuticle is epidermis. You can see it here. This is cuticle and below this is epidermis. And that is followed by the dermis layer. And it is formed of a connective tissues here, children. And one more part I want to mention it here. It's not about the wall, but see here it is a hemocoelic capillaries. Hemocoelic capillaries are present in between the epidermis cells, children. Okay, this I will teach you. That time I will ask you and you have to answer me. Okay, where it is present? In between the epidermis. Okay. Now, what did we see now? First layer is cuticle. Below that is epidermis. And below the epidermis is dermis layer. Dermis layer is formed of all connective tissues. Below the dermis, we have got the muscular layer. From here to here is a muscular layer. And these are the circular muscles. Imagine that, see, cell wall, half here. So it is circular layer. Okay, it is a half cut, isn't it? It is a small portion. So it is a circular muscle. And then this is longitudinal muscles. Okay, all the muscles are taking place in this muscular layer. This is the 4th layer. And the foremost inside. Okay, below this is going to be the gut. What is gut? Intestinal wall. So that is called botryoidal tissue or botryoidal layer. We can see. So it lies below the longitudinal muscles. This is longitudinal muscle. Below that is botryoidal tissue, and it fills the entire coelom. Coelom means cavity, children. So it forms the whole coelomic cavity, and it is just around the gut region. என்னது இப்படி தான் இருக்கு leech. ஓகேவா? லீச் இப்படி கட் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். இங்கே இருக்கிற லேயர்ஸை தான் நம்ம இப்போ பார்த்துட்ருக்கோம். இங்கே இது வந்து கட் இன்டென்ஸ்டைன். ஓகே, இதை சுற்றி இருக்கிற லேயருக்கு பேர் தான் பாட்ரியாய்டல் லேயர் ஆர் த டிஷ்யூ. Okay, this is about the body wall of leech children. 5 layers. What are they? Repeat. Cuticle, epidermis, dermis, muscular layer and botryoidal tissue. Okay, coming to the locomotion of leech. What is locomotion? Locomotion means the ability to move around, isn't it? From one place to the other place. Movement. How we move, children? We are bipedal animal and we walk with the help of 2 legs we have, isn't it? But here it's a lower form of animal. In leech, they follow 2 types of movements. One is looping or crawling and the other one is swimming. Looping or crawling. Crawling na கறங்குறது இல்லை, அப்படியே ஊந்தி இப்படி 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 போகிறது இல்லை. This is called looping or crawling. Swimming we know. Okay, how looping is done here in leech? It is brought about by the contraction and the relaxation of the muscles. We have seen 2 muscles. What are they? One is circular muscle and the longitudinal muscles, isn't it? So with the help of the longitudinal muscles and the circular muscles, looping is done. And 2 suckers we learnt already. What are they, children? One is anterior sucker and the posterior sucker. Remember, posterior sucker, last 7 pairs, 7 segments joined together, fusion, posterior sucker. Yeah? Now they serve as a attachment or the organ of attachment on a substratum during the movement. And how it is done? Imagine this is leech. இது வந்து posterior suckerன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். இது anterior sucker. First leech will get stuck into the posterior. First posterior sucker நல்லா ஒட்ட வச்சிரும் substratumல. Substratum அப்படின்னா underlying layerன்னு அர்த்தம், foundation அர்த்தம். Then the anterior sucker. Okay, once the anterior sucker is extended and then it is fixed, if it is comfortable, then the posterior sucker will start like this. Then again anterior sucker, then posterior sucker, like this the looping takes place in the leech, children. Now coming to the swimming movement. What is swimming movement? It is like very actively it swims and it performs undulating movement. What is undulating? It is like a wave, like this, just going up and down, up and down. It goes, it moves and very active it swims. You can see a video now how fast it swims in water. Next is a digestive system of leech. It includes the long alimentary canal and the digestive glands. It's very simple, children. Only 2 parts. There is one long alimentary canal and digestive glands are included in the digestive system. Coming to the alimentary canal is nothing but the digestive canal only. Canal means tube. It's a straight tube running from mouth to anus. We have seen it already. See here, it is a straight tube, children. This is alimentary canal. So it begins with the mouth and it ends up with the anus exterior pore. Now coming to mouth. Mouth is triradiate aperture. And it is aperture means what? Opening. What is triradiate? Will come here. This is the mouth and you can see this is a triradiate. 3 side you can radiate 3. Okay, it is a Y shaped. It is present where? In the middle of the anterior sucker, children. Now this leads to the small buccal cavity where there is a small hollow portion, and here this leech has got jaws. Okay, I have already told you it is a triradiate. And this buccal cavity bears a row of, that is the wall of the buccal cavity has 3 jaws, children. Now one jaw, just let me explain it here. This is a jaw. It has got a single row of teeth. Okay, this is triradiate mouth which is present in the anterior region of the leech, and it leads to the buccal cavity, and in buccal cavity the wall of the buccal cavity is supplied, or it bears with 3 jaws. Now one jaw is explained here, and this jaw has got a single row of teeth. Not only that, in the jaw it is provided with papillae. Now this has got the opening of the salivary gland, children. Now what did we see? A mouth that leads to the buccal cavity. Buccal cavity, in the buccal cavity only the jaw, and that both mouth and the buccal cavity leads to the muscular pharynx. This region is muscular pharynx. Now muscular pharynx is surrounded by the salivary glands, children. What is the speciality of the salivary gland? We have already learnt. What is that, children? That salivary gland has a special function which can secrete a special substance called hirudin. Hirudin, that is why this is hirudine, leech, hirudinaria. Now this hirudin has the capacity to avoid or to prevent coagulation. Okay, anticoagulation factor it has. So after this muscular pharynx, there is a small portion called the esophagus. Esophagus is actually a food pipe. We have got a long food pipe, children, but this is very lower form of animal. It has got a short esophagus, and this short esophagus continuously leads to a chambers of 10 chambers of crop. This is most or major part of the alimentary canal. What is the work of this crop or the chamber? These crop chambers, they store the blood sucked by the leech. Now blood will be sucked by here through the muscular pharynx, and after it is sucked, it is passed on to the crops, children. This crops 10 chambers, and it leads to the stomach. Now talking about the crop, it is each crop is communicated or connected by a circular tube, okay, with a specialized portion called the sphincter. Not only that, each chamber, this crop chamber is there, no, this each crop chamber is backwardly and laterally means sidewards. So backwardly and sidewards, they are actually an outgrowth, and they are called crop diverticula. Crop diverticula is otherwise called cecum or ceca. You can see it here. Now all these blood that is sucked by this leech from the cattle or any other host, it sucks, it will store here in these crops. How many days it will take, how many hours it will take, this we have seen. How many days, children? For us it is only 4 to 5 hours, but in leech it is about 12 months. 1 complete year the blood will be stored here for the digestion purpose. So 1 complete digestion will take place in a year time. So after that, the sucked blood will be passed on to the stomach. Now in stomach the digestion takes place. Actually in we can see the last chamber of the crop that opens into the stomach, that leads to the intestine, and this small intestine, it is a small straight tube, and that leads to the rectum, and that leads to the exterior anus. Now come back here. Actually I told you it is stomach and it leads to the intestine, and it's a small straight tube, and it is rectum, and it is anus, exterior pore. Now what is going on in this stomach actually? I told you digestion takes place. How digestion takes place, how food, feeding and digestion, that we are going to see. How it is taking place? First, leech feeds by sucking the blood of cattle. There is other domestic animals also, it sucks. How it feeds? During feeding. Okay, first step is attaches itself to its victim strongly by posterior sucker. How it is? Imagine that this is posterior sucker. Just it will get stuck into the organism by radiate, radiate rays. So how many rays are there? 3 radiate. So that's why it is called triradiate. Now this leech makes triradiate or Y-shaped incision. What is incision? It is a small cut, children. So after this cut, it gets incised inside the host. Now in the skin of the host, when it is cut took place also, it will not feel that something is biting it, because there is a purpose or there is a special property called anesthetic property. It secretes an anesthetic material. People say that it is morphine, a kind of a morphine, a painkiller. Okay, it will never feel the pain at all. Now what will happen? The jaws are protruded through the mouth. Then the blood is sucked by the muscular pharynx. This is the muscular pharynx. So blood is sucked here. Interesting factor here. I told you here it is a salivary gland. Okay, salivary gland, what is the property? It secretes hirudin. As it sucks blood, children, இங்கே பிளட் அப்படியே சக் பண்ணி உரியும் போது நார்மலாக இருக்கணும்னா என்ன ஆகும்? இங்கே உள்ளே வரும்போது இங்கே கட்டிடும்ல, கிளாட் ஆயிரும்ல. ஆனால் சலைவரி கிளாண்ட்லேருந்து இந்த ஹிருடின் சப்ஸ்டன்ஸ் இங்கே அப்படியே சிக்ரீட் ஆகுறதுனால அந்த ஹோஸ்ட்லேருந்து வர பிளட்டும் இந்த ஹிருடினும் ஒன்றா சேர்ந்து டைல்யூட் ஃபார்மில் ஆயிரும். ஸோ clotting of the blood is avoided here, prevented here. Then அப்படி கிராஜுவலாக ரொம்ப அழகாக டியூப்பில் தண்ணி போகிற மாதிரி இந்த டியூப்பில் இந்த ஈசோஃபேகஸ் மூலமாக ஈச் crop will receive the blood here, able to get. During feeding attach பண்ணுச்சு, Y-shaped triradiate incision நடந்தது. Then blood is sucked through the muscular pharynx and the salivary secretion is poured in சொல்லி பார்த்துட்டோம் இல்லையா. Now fourth is the ingested blood. Already blood is ingested and they are stored in the crop chambers and its diverticulum. Now the blood passes from the crop into stomach. There it takes place, where in stomach digestion takes place. Digestion takes place how? Through the action of proteolytic enzyme. What is this proteolytic enzyme, children? What is the enzyme actually that fastens the reaction? Catalytic enzyme. So this is proteolytic enzyme. All the protease, proteinase or peptidase, all these are called proteolytic enzymes. Now, any of a group of an enzyme that breaks the long chain of molecules of proteins into a shorter fragment, that is a small peptide finally, then it is called proteolytic enzyme. Nothing but the breakage or breaking of polypeptide protein into its small or simple component called amino acid. Then this is called proteolytic enzyme. So through this proteolytic enzyme might be protease, proteinase and peptidase. Proteolytic enzyme, the digestion takes place. நமக்கு எப்படி digestion நடக்குது? Anything like balanced diet நம்ம சாப்பிட்றதுல இது most we take what? Carbohydrates நம்ம சாப்பிட்றோம். It is a polysaccharide இல்லையா? So it is a complex food material. Now this complex food material is broken down into a small or the single monomer is called glucose. So what is the monomer of carbohydrate? Glucose. And now what is fat, children? Fat is, once again, it is complex. Now it is broken down into fatty acid or glycerol. Okay, this is the monomer. இது வந்து higher form of animals, நமக்கெல்லாம் இப்படி தான். But in leech, being a lower form of animal, only the proteins are broken down. Now what is the final thing we have to? Through the action of proteolytic enzyme, proteins molecules, long chain of protein molecules are broken down into a small part is called amino acid. After this, what will happen? The digested food is absorbed slowly by intestine. Children, digestion takes place in the stomach. So that is pushed down to the intestine. Digested food is absorbed by the intestine, and undigested food, don't want, it's not digested at all, then it is stored in the rectum. So all the roughage will be stored in the rectum, and then it is ejected through the anus, that is sent out. We can see it here. Digestion takes place here, and absorption, digested food absorption takes place here in the intestine. Then undigested food will be stored here in the rectum, and whichever is not wanted, it is ejected out through the exterior pore called anus. So this is about the digestive system. Coming to the segmentation of the leech, just go through, we will see. Body segments, 33 segments. Anterior sucker, mouth and eyes, 1 to 5. Posterior sucker, remember, 27th to 33rd. Pharynx, 5th segment to 8th segment. Crop, from 9th to 18th segment. Children, how many crops chambers? 10, isn't it? So stomach is next chamber, that is 19th chamber. Then intestine, in your book it is given 10th to 22nd. Actually it is not 10, it is 19. So 19th to 22nd is intestine. Rectum is 23rd to 26th. Anus is present in 26th segment. And nephridiopore, remember children, all unwanted excretion, unwanted wastes are excreted through the nephridiopore, minute pore. It is present from 6th to 22nd segment. How many nephridiopores are there? 17 pairs, remember. Then male genital aperture in 10th segment and female genital aperture in 11th segment. Coming to the respiratory system. Respiratory system is very, very, very simple. It takes place through the skin. So through the skin of the leech, respiration takes place. Remember, if leech is present in water, respiratory system of leech, it's very simple. It takes place through the skin, children. A dense network of tiny blood vessels called blood capillaries. It is not actually blood capillary, but it is otherwise called hemocoelic fluid. What is this? I said it is a tiny blood vessels. Tiny blood vessels are capillaries ன்னு சொல்றோம். அதுக்கு உள்ள hemocoelic fluid இருக்கு. Okay, it is extended in between the cells of the epidermis. Remember, while teaching the body wall of the leech, we learned, நான் கேட்பேன்னு சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, தோ எபிடர்மஸ் செல்ஸ்க்கு இடையில இந்த ஹீமோசிலிக் கேப்பிலரிஸ் இருக்கு பாருங்க. ஓகே, த்ரூ திஸ் respiration takes place. Okay, hemocoelic capillaries, you can see it here. Okay, how exchange of respiratory gases takes place? How? Respiration exchange of respiratory gases should be there. Respiratory gases na oxygen, carbon dioxide illaya. So it is just through the diffusion. Diffusion and the lower form of animals la ellathiliyume diffusion மூலமா தான் respiration நடக்குது. Diffusion அப்படினாலே it is a network, like a net movement from higher concentration to the lower concentration. உயரமான இடத்துலேருந்து என்னது பள்ளமான பகுதிக்கு தண்ணி ஒரு இடத்துல இருந்து ஊற்றுறீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், மேலேருந்து ஊற்றுறீங்க, தண்ணி எது பக்கமாக ஓடும், பள்ளம் பக்கமாக ஓடும் இல்லையா, அல்லது இல்லாத இடத்துல போய் நிரம்பும் இல்லையா. ஸோ இட் இஸ் வெரி சிம்பிள் ஃபார்ம். Through the diffusion, exchange of respiratory gases takes place in the leech. How? Remember, imagine that leech is present in water. தண்ணியில் leech இருக்கு. தண்ணிக்குள்ளே ஆக்சிஜன் எந்த மாதிரி இருக்குமா? ஆக்சிஜன் இட் இஸ் இன் dissolved form. 21%. கரெக்டா? அட்மாஸ்பரிக்கில் நிறைய இருக்குது. ஸோ ஆக்சிஜன் இஸ் டிசால்வ்டு ஃபார்ம் இன் த வாட்டர். இங்கே இருக்குது, இதுதான் எபிடர்மிஸ்ன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். ஓகே, சிம்பிள் ஃபார்ம், ஆக்சிஜன் வில் கோ இன்சைடு, ஏன்னா இங்கே ஆக்சிஜன் கம்மியாக இருக்குது. தென் கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு இங்கே தேவையில்லை, கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு வெளியே வந்துடும். Okay, that diffuses through the skin into hemocylic fluid. இங்கே இருக்கிற எபிடர்மல் செல்ஸ்கில் இருக்கு இல்லையா, ஹீமோசிலிக் ஃப்ளூயிடு அங்கே போகும். தென் இங்கேருந்து கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு அதுலேருந்து வெளியே வந்துடும். ஓகே, த்ரூ இட் respiration takes place. And skin always kept slimy, moist, அப்படியே இருக்கும், ஈரப்பதம் அப்படியே மெயின்டைன் ஆகும். எப்படி அப்படின்னா, due to the secretion of the mucus which also prevents it from the drying. காஞ்சி போகாமல் இருக்கிறதுக்கு mucus secretion எப்போவுமே இருக்கும். Okay, this is about the respiratory system. Coming to the circulatory system, it is otherwise called a hemocylic system. இதில் blood கிடையாது, நம்ம ஏற்கனவே பார்த்துட்டோம் இல்லையா, no blood. ஹீமோசிலிக் சிஸ்டம், நோ ட்ரூ பிளட் வெசல்ஸ் இல்லை, இது லோவர் ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் அனிமல். ஸோ இன்ஸ்டெட் ஆஃப் பிளட் வெசல் எப்படி தூக்கிட்டு போகணுமே, டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட்டேஷன் நடக்கணும் இல்லையா, அப்போ எப்படி அப்படின்னா த்ரூ சேனல்ஸ். இட் இஸ் அதர்வைஸ் கால்டு ஹீமோசிலிக், ஓ சைலண்ட் ஃபார்ம், ஏ சைலண்ட் ஃபார்ம். தட்ஸ் வை ஹீமோசிலிக் சேனல்ஸ் ஆர் கெனால்ஸ்ன்னு கூட சொல்லலாம். ஸோ இமேஜின் தட் திஸ் இஸ் அ blood vessel, no blood vessel பார்த்துட்டோம், ஹீமோசிலிக் வெசல்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். அதுக்கு உள்ள blood like fluid is present, but in this blood like fluid hemoglobin is present. Okay, now this is actually by 4 longitudinal channels. இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறது 4 longitudinal, நேர longitudinal channels are present. 4 longitudinal channels are there சொல்லி பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா. இப்போ எப்படி இந்த 4 longitudinalனா, நேர் பகுதியில் longitudinal channel. Imagine that this is dorsal. So one lies above dorsal, above the alimentary canal. இது alimentary canalனு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். alimentary canalக்கு மேலே ஒரு டியூப். Okay, this is one. And one below the ventral. What is ventral? I've already told you, கீழ்ப்பகுதி இல்லையா. அப்போ alimentary canalக்கு கீழ்ப்பகுதியில் ஒரு longitudinal channel. Then 2 more are there. Imagine that this is alimentary. இங்கே ஒன்று, இங்கே ஒன்று. அப்போ how many longitudinal channels are there? 1 dorsal, 1 ventral and 2 lateral. So all these serve as a heart and they have inner valves. Okay, all the 4 connected together posteriorly in the 26th segment. You can see it here. All the 4 it can be connected here in the posterior end. Okay, this is about the circulatory system. Circulatory system is very simple, like respiratory system. Now coming to nervous system. Nervous system comprises of nerve ring and a paired ventral nerve cord. Actually nervous system அப்படினாலே central nervous system அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறோம். central nervous system அப்படினாலே brain தான், ஓகேவா. So it is of a nerve ring and a paired ventral nerve cord where it is. இதுதான் நம்மளுடைய டயக்ராம். ஆக்சுவலி நம்மளோட டயக்ராம் படி நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா இட் இஸ் அ பிரெயின். ஓகே, சென்ட்ரல் நர்வஸ் சிஸ்டம், அவ்வளோதான். இப்போ இதுலேருந்து என்ன தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம் அப்படின்னா, கம் ஹியர், திஸ் இஸ் பிரெயின். இட் இஸ் ஃபார்ம்ட் ஆஃப், ஆக்சுவலி இந்த ரீஜன் தான் ஃபேரிங்ஸ்மா. இது pharynx. ஓகேவா? pharynx சுத்தி இருக்கிறது தான் nerve ring. Now this is brain, and brain is present above the pharynx. That is why it is called suprapharyngeal. Okay, it is suprapharyngeal. Then again it is surrounded by, pharynx is surrounded by a circumpharyngeal connective, and below the pharynx there is a subpharyngeal ganglion. Ganglion a group of cells அப்படினு அர்த்தம். ஓகே, ஸோ இது lower form of animal. நமக்கு millions of neurons are there. ஆனால் இங்கே வந்து group of குட்டி 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 cells அவ்வளோதான். கேங்க்லியானை தான் நம்ம brain அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கோம். ஓகே, ஸோ this is subpharyngeal ganglion, just found below the pharynx. It is formed by the fusion of the 4 pairs of ganglia. Okay, this is circumpharyngeal. This is ventral nerve cord. You can see a pair of ventral nerve cord. Excretory system of leech, again it's very simple. It takes place by segmentally arranged paired tubules. Remember children, nephridia. How many nephridia or nephriospores we have seen? There are 17 pairs of nephridia that opens out by the nephridiopore, where it is present actually from the segment 6th to 22nd segment. So 17 pairs of nephridia are present that opens through the nephridiopore. Through this, all the unwanted material will be excreted out. Children, what we have seen today: body wall, locomotion, digestive system we have seen. Then all the other systems like respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system and excretory systems we have learnt. Hope you understood. If you have any doubt, ask me. You can post it to my number and I am here to explain you. This is not only for the examination point of view. You just enjoy knowing it first, then we can learn for examination. Few questions you can frame, and I will also send you few questions to you end of the day, so that you will learn the answers and you can write it to me. Okay, God bless you.